Hello everybody, welcome to your Balanced Body, Balanced Mind routine. A little bit of a double whammy if you like. We're going to start by balancing our mind with a really simple exercise to help with that, which we'll get to in a second. And then we're going to come on and do a nice straightforward balanced Pilates mat class. So why are we starting off by thinking about maybe allowing the mind to come into a little bit of balance before we start to move? Because typically a lot of the restrictions and the tension that we hold in our body are a result of a lot of the time, our thoughts and our feelings, and also the experiences that we're having maybe in life, and sometimes our environment as well. It all impacts, can all impact the mind, and like I say, that can have a little bit of an impact in the skeleton and the musculoskeletal system. So the idea of this is to get control of that mind, to bring it into a state of calm, and then use that to your advantage to help you move more freely in your body. So to start off with, we're going to come down into relaxation position. And as you make your way down there, you can make your way down there now. I want you to start to think about something, a place, a person, a word, a combination of words, a smell, an experience that you've had that you always remember as being really calming. So think about that on your way down, bring it into your mind, start to think about what that might be for you. And we're going to set ourselves up first in a nice relaxed state. So thinking about that thing or that person or that place, bring yourself into that nice relaxation position. And we'll just set ourselves up. So hands to the hips, just do a couple of tuck-in tilts, just to bring yourself into that nice balanced position. So hip bones level, heels in line with sit bones, knees pointing up to the sky. Think about taking a couple of breaths into the ribs. So hands to the rib cage and just set yourself up here by breathing in. Allow those ribs to expand on the mat. And then breathe out. Allow the ribs to knit in towards one another, and then allow the ribs to sink down to the floor. So again, you're allowing that to happen by taking that breath. So breathe into the ribs. Breathe back out. Allow the ribs to knit in and let them drop with the exhale. So really think about relaxing around thoracic spine as the ribs knit back in. Arms to the side, just bring them up, lift and lower. So the shoulder blades from the mat. So again, this is all about just releasing a little bit of tension and getting connected, the back of the body, getting connected to the mat here, and then release the arms down, lengthen them to the sides of the hips. And then just a couple of rolls of the neck, nothing too crazy. Just let that head roll. Keep your eyes on the ceiling or the sky or whatever it is that's directly above you, and just let that neck roll. And as the neck rolls, almost imagine that the neck is growing. So the head, although it's rolling side to side, is actually lengthening at the same time. Just getting a little bit of release through the shoulders, the neck, and around the tops of the arms. And then from there, just draw your attention quickly to your thighs. Take a little sense check of how they feel and around the hips. If you feel on, I will have spoken about this before, bring your awareness there and just start to soften around the legs. Really, really important as part of relaxing and setting yourself up that you are released in and around the hips and the tops of the thighs and the glutes. Good. Arms to the sides of the hips. Now you can close your eyes down, and I want you to actively visualize that place or that person or that thought, the word, the smell, whatever it is. I want you to bring that into your mind now, really visually picture whatever it is. Allow any thoughts that you are having or have had this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whatever time of day it is for you, allow those thoughts to be pushed out of the way, so as whatever it is that's in your head that you hold dear is front and center. That it blocks out everything else. It is filling the whole space in front of your eyes. It's all you can see. And I want you just to hold that image or person or thought or word. And then I want you to start to breathe into it. So focusing on that place, breathing in and breathing out in a way that feels really natural. Almost as if you're breathing yourself into whatever it is you're imagining in your head now. If you're starting off noticing that the breath is maybe shallow, then take your time to expand that breath into something that feels deeper. Allow the shoulders to keep relaxing into the mat. Allow the ribs to keep dropping and the legs to stay soft. Think about the reasons, the many reasons, or the one reason why you've thought of this particular thing that's in your head. And then think of how you can actively use that as an anchor in times where you feel worried or stressed or anxious, or you just want a release from the day-to-day grind. Just staying with that for another breath or two. So feel the breath, feel the ribs expand on the mat. And as you breathe out, really feel that you're breathing out to release. And maybe even think about bringing that image or picture or place more in towards you so you really feel like you're part of it. Just one more breath. Keep thinking of heaviness through the back of the body so as you're completely dropped down into the mat and supported. So there's practically no tension in the skeleton at all. Feet are soft, ankles soft, knees as well. Places we don't often think about. And then from there, we're going to start to just move gently. So bring your feet and ankles and your inner thighs together. And then you're going to start, you can open your eyes for this or keep your eyes closed. It's up to you. If you are keeping your eyes closed, I would encourage you to stay with your image. And then just rock from side to side. So just a gentle rock, knees left to right, moving through the thighs, moving through the pelvis as well. So you're getting a little bit of rotation in the pelvis here. And then just coming to a stop, disconnect the legs back to parallel. And then we're going to take some spine curls. So again, if you have been really focused and your eyes have been closed and you are opening them, just be mindful of that. Move gently. We're going to dip one hip. So we're going to take a little rotation. So allow one hip bone to drop down. Allow one hip bone to rise up. So a little bit of rotation in the pelvis. And then you're going to roll up one side of your spine. So gently pressing into the feet, but powering through the back of the body, rolling up one side of your spine piece by piece. So you'll be a little bit rotated through the spine, through the hips. And then you're going to rotate pelvis to the other side. So now opposite hip is up and the opposite hip is down. And then you're going to roll that spine down to release just down that one side. And then come back to neutral. And then go the opposite way. So rolling up the side you've just come down. Allow the pelvis to rotate to the other side. And then take that nice smooth roll down. It might take you one or two. Same again. So see if you can coordinate the brain here. Because we're kind of going same side. And then reversing. And then down. Aiming to lengthen the spine here. So back up that one side. Rotate other side. Make sure that rotation is coming from the pelvis and not the back, not the low back. and then lengthen down. Allow that spine to elongate, trying to get as long as you can, neutral, and then roll all the way back up. Rotate other side, lengthen down. So tuck that tailbone underneath you as you lengthen down, a little bit of engaging through your abdominals. Rolling up same side. Rotate pelvis. It feels nice in the pelvis. And then down. Last one here. Come to neutral. And then rolling up that side. Other side. And then lengthen all the way down. Good. And then just releasing to neutral from there. You can check. Both hands on your hips. Arms lengthened down by your side. We're going to stack one knee over one hip. So stacking the knee. Flex your ankle. Press the leg away. And then I want you to point and flex. Draw that leg back in. And then foot down. Same thing other side. So stack. Flex your ankle. Checking in on the hips if you want to. Press the leg away. Flex, extend. And in. Foot down. That's our little sequence. So press away. Flex, extend. And in. Keep those ribs soft. Keep them knitting down. So keep checking that the ribs are connected to that mat as much as you can. Keep that chin in line with your breastbone. So it's a nice relaxed posture here. This is fairly easy. Oh, I forgot my flex and extend. This is fairly easy, fairly simple. It's not too much of a load on the spine. And in, if you feel like maybe you're arching your back a little bit through this, then instead of pressing the leg out, press the leg up, flex and extend, and down, and return. Good. Press in. One more each side. Exhale to extend, in, and then stack, flex ankle, point, draw the ankle back in, and all the way down. Good. We're going to combine that. So double knee fold. So dial up to that center on your out breath. Connect your inner thighs. Flex the ankles now, and we're going to do a little hip abduction as well here. So open and close, and then press away. Point and flex. Draw the legs back in. Open and close. Point and flex. And in. Open. And then feel those abs working here. Keep the ribs drawing down if you can. If that feels too intense, little modification again. Just take the legs up, flex and extend. Down, open and close. Two more. I feel that in my core, my deep core, working really hard to stabilize. Press the legs, flex, extend the ankles, draw the knees back in, open and close, little oyster, and then disconnect, bring the legs down one at a time, and then just take the legs side to side. Good job. Harder than it looks. Back to parallel. Bring your arms behind the head. Coming into a little bit of obliques here. So I want you to imagine that the back of your ribs, the upper back, is like almost stuck to the mat, like sort of sticky black plastic, if you like. And then thinking of keeping the left side, I'm going to rotate over. We're doing oblique curl ups here. So I'm going to curl up through my right side. So imagine the left side is staying stuck down to the mat, connected to that sticky back plastic. I'm going to move from the top of my ribs to curl up and over and keeping my left side connected to the mat, neutral, and then down. Same thing, other side. Exhale as you move. So one side stays down, shoulder is open if you can. And then down, breathing out. And then down, breath in to prepare, breath out to move. So trying to get that movement from your ribs here. Pelvis is neutral, there's nothing happening, there's no rotation happening in the low back. All coming from that top thoracic spine. So that's why we're thinking about moving from the top. So think almost collarbone lifting first, and then sequentially the rest of the ribs from the first rib, second rib, third rib, down towards the base of the ribs. Shoulder blade clear off the mat if you can. Pelvis nice and level, check in. Legs nice and parallel, watch any drifting of the legs. So good. Head is heavy. Let those ribs slide around the spine. Good. One more each way. Last one here. So good. And then resting down, bring your hands out from underneath your head. Just do a little bit of work through the shoulders here. So breathing in, nice straightforward. Float both arms up, hands are forward. Make sure those shoulder blades are nice and heavy on the mat. Take a little bend at the elbows. We're going to rotate opposite ways with the arms. One palm down, one palm up. And then reach the arms away and bring them back up. Same thing, but switch direction. And up. Bend at the elbows. Rotate here from your shoulder, not from the elbows. And again, it's a little bit of a coordination challenge, this one, because we're switching directions of the arms. But so good to check in on our mind as well. And up. So really focus in, breath out, rotate from the shoulder, from the top of the arm bone and up, ribs soft, pelvis neutral, reaching away and up. Good. Turn the palms to face in one another. Turn the palms to face in towards one another, sorry, and reach them all the way overhead. Hold them there. Stack one leg, stack the other leg. You're going to take a breath out, chin to chest, curling up, neutral, and then down. Same thing again, breathing out, chin to chest, roll through the spine, neutral, reach the arms, so reach the fingertips towards maybe whatever's in front of you. If you'd like a little bit of extra support, you can draw the inner thighs together. Center to pull yourself up through your core, moving through again. Think of the spine, top of the spine, head, neck first, and then the top, mid, back. Tips of the shoulder blades to clear the mat if you can, if that's within your range. If not, work to your level. Good, last one here. We're going to hold up on this one, chin to chest, curl up. Holding here, so holding that nice curled up position into toe tap. So tap one leg down, tap the other leg down. Stay curled up, stay connected to that sense of center. So think abs dropping down. You shouldn't see any doming through the tummy. If it's too much, take the head and neck down. Just come into normal version of toe taps. So good. 3, 2, 1. So good. Excellent work. Bring yourself up. Bring the arms down. Big circle round to the sides of the hips. Offload the spine one at a time. And again, just take that nice little release through the hips there. Good. We're going to come on to our side from there. So just rolling over. Nice little side lying seaties. So bring one arm out in front of you. Bring one leg in line with your hips. You're in that nice sort of chair position. I want you just to make sure when you look down that you can see your toes facing towards you, so that ankle is flexed up towards your face. We're just going to come and do a little bit of lift and lowers here. I want you to put your hand at the top of the thigh bone. This is really important. Hand at the top of the thigh bone. So we should not be collapsed in the waist here. We should be lengthened out of the waist. It's really important. Put your hands at the top of the thigh bone where it joins the hip, and you're going to lift and lower. And as you lift, I want you to think about pressing out through your heel. So as you're really lengthening through the side of the waist here, and there is no crashing. Go super slow. Hand slip it onto the bum cheek, and the muscles in the bum should be working here, not really at the side of the hip. It should be around the back through the glutes here. Deep inner work in the glutes. Good. Top hand down for a little bit of light support. We're working against any rotation here, so watch for the leg being pulled out and up towards the sky. Toes face forward the whole time. Reach long and lift and lower. So good. Thinking of always engaging with our center to give us that support. So corset always on to support the trunk, the low back. Just one more. And then fold the leg in. So we're in this tabletop position. We're going to take oyster from here. So slightly different than the normal oyster. Normally we draw the legs back, but we are in our sort of tabletop. So make sure hips are flexed. Shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Head down or head up. It's up to you. And then same thing. Just pivot on heel. So heel to heel. And again, think of that movement coming from behind the thigh bone here. So glutes engaging. Open here. Stay nice, stacked on those hips, so there's no rolling, there's no crashing underneath. 3, 2, last one. Hold up, little pulses back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release down. Beautiful work. We're going to roll over, press ourselves up into 4-point kneeling here. Let's fix the old hair. Coming into 4-point kneeling before we work our way on to our other side. So into 4-point kneeling, knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. Nice lengthened spine, and you're going to extend the leg behind you. So any leg you like, I'm going right side first so you guys can see. And then we're going to just do a little bit of hamstring release. So on the toes, you're going to roll forward and then press back through the heel. I want you to think of the pelvis staying facing the mat. So shoulders and pelvis square. Try and keep nice and balanced and not shift your weight too much to one side. If this is a lot on your wrists, I fell recently. So my wrists, I put my hands out to save me. My wrists feel a little bit fragile at the moment. So this actually feels a lot more comfortable for me. I'll tell you about the fall another time. Oh God. Float the leg up. Again, square off. You can check the pelvis. Remember, you're allowed to move. Check the pelvis. Good. And then from there, if you've got this in you, you're going to rotate that leg to land it to the side of the body. And then the same thing, that lovely mobility work. So leg in line with the hip. I'm going to bring my back a bit. And then same thing, move forward and then press back. Stay neutral here in the spine. So as you press back, imagine you're sticking your bum out to the wall behind you. So as you're not rounding in that spine, and then just feeling that nice bit of mobility, stretch where your inner thigh feels so nice. Just one more here. So good. And then we're going to pick the leg up to return it. So we're not just going to whack it back. See if you can control this, center yourself, support that spine, pick the leg up, rotate the leg back behind the body, knee down, and then bring the leg underneath. I'm going to switch sides, a bit more space if I do that, just to come and do the other side. So breathing out, find your nice long spine neutral position, slide the leg back. I'm on the tiptoes here, and then just pressing back into the heel, just a little bit of work to sort of smooth out the hamstring, keep it nice and balanced. So just moving backwards and forwards. So really press out through the heel. You get a little bit of a calf stretch as well here. Eye gaze forward, abdominals lifted in towards the spine. Keep breathing. Keep coming back to that little place or thing you were thinking about at the beginning as you move through this. Holding back here. Float the leg up, make sure you're squared off. Watch for this. Stay square if you can. If it's in your capability to rotate your leg to the side of your hip, go for it. If not, just take it there in the way that's easiest and most comfortable for you. And then we're just going to come into our little inner thigh stretch, mobility work for the hips here as well. Good. So just forwards and backwards. Again, trying to stay neutral here, so stick the bum out as you roll forwards and back. No arching, so no overextending, no tucking under. Nice and neutral. Light touch in the hands, core on. A couple more here. I like this one, I have to say. Good, and then just centering here. Pick that leg up, brush it back. Plant the leg down, bring the knee under. We're going to come into a little round of cat-cow now just to finish here. So extend that spine, breathing in, breathing out. Roll through the base of the spine all the way up to the tops, to the tip of the head. Check in with the legs, they should be off. And then lengthen, head away from the tail. Same thing again, press the mat away, breathing in, breathing out. Roll through that spine. Abdominals engaged, up and in. Soften the legs, soften the thighs. And then release out. Good work. Coming down to take our side lying legs on the opposite side. So one leg up, one leg long. Oops, microphone is in the way. Hang on. Oh. It's a bit heavy for the top, you see. I'm going to hold it. Don't want it to create friction. All right, leg in line with the hip, toes forward, head down. Center, so your back of your body is in line with the back of your mat. Reach to the heel, the middle point on the heel, and then lift and lower. It doesn't have to be a big crazy lift. Remember, you can slide your hand onto the top of the thigh bone and then behind the thigh bone to the glutes to make sure this lift is being initiated from your glute muscles. Good, breathing out, centering here, watching for rotation or for the leg being pulled forward into flexion at the hip. So you want to try and keep nice and open at that hip joint. You don't want the leg to start drifting forward. You're going to control that. You're going to control against the leg rotating out. So toes up, toes are forward for the whole duration, hip open. We'll get to rotate in a little second in the next one. Good, just two more. Last one. Good, and then stack the legs for our oyster. So shins parallel, nice fold at the hips, lengthen the waist, and then heel to heel. So really use that heel as a pivot point to open and close to open and close the leg, sorry. Same thing, make sure that this movement is being controlled coming from behind the hips, so the glutes here. Good, breathing out, center. Last 3, 2, ooh, it feels good. Last one. And closing that leg down. Beautiful work. You're going to press yourself up in to take a nice little side stretch here. So in your 90-90, if this isn't comfortable, just sit with the legs crossed as well. Microphone's going a bit daft. Sit with your legs crossed if you prefer for this. If you're okay, then come into 90-90. We're going to stretch to the leg that's to the short edge of the mat, arms out. Breathing out, tip the head and let the rest of the spine follow. Good, allowing that whole side of the body to open. Feels nice. And then restack, rebuild, just switch your legs around. We'll take that to the other side. And then same thing, hands to the side, float the arm up, and then just tip the head and let everything else follow in sequence. So we're always looking for that nice sequence of movement to train that nice sort of pattern. That's what brings balance in the body, is following that sort of sequence of movement. Make sure we're not skipping a bit. So make sure we're not going head and then mid-back. We're going head, neck, then mid-back, or upper back, then mid-back. So relax the legs here. We're nearly done. And then lengthen up through the crown of the head, bringing that arm down. Coming to lie on your tummy. So we'll fit in a little bit of prone work now through the upper back. So bring yourself down. Remember, as always, to lengthen to create space in the front of the hip joint as you come into this position. And then we're just going to bring our arms for a little baby swan here. So bring the forehead down to the mat. Rest the forehead on the mat. We're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, in fact, before we get there, I want you just to check the pelvis. So rock it from side to side. And then just make sure that when you stop, that the two hip bones feel level in the same way we do this in relaxation position. And when you feel that, breathe out. You're going to center, allow the pelvis just to drop down, pubic bone nice and heavy, and then just lightly pressing into the arms, extending up, head, neck. Remember that sequence? Head, neck, and then imagine upper back. Keep the ribs down. It's like you're drawing yourself up and away, almost from the ribs. Holding here. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lengthen down. And then bring the head and neck in last. Good. Try and keep soft. This is the challenge, is trying to keep soft in the places that really don't need to work, like the legs. So breathe out. Remember, we're really centering here and powering up through the upper mid-back. Not really much required from the lower body here at all. So try and work with that a little bit. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe if you've tuned into that, you will notice how much more challenging this exercise becomes when you think about switching off the legs. So again, this is another sign of where we maybe don't work in balance, where lots of other parts of the body are working that don't need to be working. Center here, abs away from the mat, soften, allow the pelvis just to fall down, pubic bone heavy, ribs connected. Try and think of that upper back lifting the body, the front of the body away from the mat. Good. It's a mini back bend, and then release down. Good. We're going to do one more breath out. One of my favorites for posture, I have to say. Head, neck, nice and slow. Reaching through the back of the head. Good. Soften through the lower body. Lengthen through the upper body. Center through the core. And then just lengthen down from here. Good. Bring the forehead to the hands. We're just going to do a quick lengthen and lift of the leg. Single side, so breathing out. Same thing, center. Just lengthen and lift one leg and bring it back down. Again, think of trying to keep that leg square, so no rotation really. And you can just raise this leg to where it feels comfortable for you. So it's not about pulling the leg, way up high. It's about really getting it hip level or thereabouts. If you're drawing the leg further up, you're going to come into probably a little bit of extension in the lumbar spine. And it's not really a place most people want to go to. You have to have really strong glutes to protect your low back. But we're working on glute strength here. Hamstring strength as well. Good. Reaching through the toes. Almost imagine somebody's pulling those legs or that leg out of the socket as it lifts off of the body. And then down. Beautiful work. Press your bum back to your heels. Counter stretch here into rest position. Whew. Arms out, head down. And then breathing in, nice and deep, into the back of the body here. So a beautiful one to feel how expansive you can get with your breath and the lungs into the back of the body to really open up the low back, okay? So your diaphragm, without going into too much detail, has a central tendon that connects to your lumbar spine. It attaches to the lumbar vertebra, which is why breathing is really, really good if you have low back pain. We have all forgotten how to take deep breaths that facilitate movement and release in the body. Breathing out. Last one here, breath in. And then breathe out. Walk your hands back in. Press yourself up. And you are done with your workout for the day. Well done on completing this workout. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel a little bit more in balance through your body and through your mind. I will see you back on your mat soon. Well done.